seen and heard a lot about how running and exercising is healthy for your body and your heart. In some cases, it's really good to exercise. However, we should take a closer look at some of the research about marathon running to see if it's truly healthy for your body overall. During the 26-mile course, the knees get around 20,000 poundings. Your internal organs are being suspended and bounced around 20,000 times. This can sometimes even result in hematuria, which is blood in the urine from kidney damage. Researchers have also found surprisingly high and potentially dangerous inflammation and clotting factors in the blood of middle-aged runners shortly after the completion of the Boston Marathon. While none of the runners in the Boston Marathon studies showed symptoms of actual cardiac distress, the high levels of creatine kinase and C-reactive protein, the first a marker for muscle injury and the second a risk factor for clotting and heart attack, showed they were temporarily at an increased risk. C-reactive protein goes up whenever there's muscle damage, and the increase that's seen in the blood clotting probably comes from the skeletal muscle injury that occurs in all marathon runners who run hard enough to hit the wall, which is to become physically exhausted roughly between mile 18 and 20. Muscle inflammation from overuse causes the overproduction of blood clotting factors like the von Willebrand factor, and this is found in higher concentrations in the runners' post-race samples than in their pre-race samples. The human body is not designed to run 26 miles non-stop. In fact, the marathon distance came about as a tribute to a runner who collapsed and died after completing that journey. The excessive oxidative stress from over-exercising should be avoided. If you can help it, don't enter a marathon. Do a 5k, a 10k, or a half marathon at most. To protect yourself if you do decide to run a marathon, take at least 6 to 9 months to train to build the endurance that's necessary. Take your personal medical history into account, and runners with known heart risks should think twice about running a marathon. Take extra antioxidants to protect your body from the extra oxidative stress during the run. If you suffer from adrenal fatigue syndrome, you might want to think twice before deciding to enter a marathon. Frequently experiencing extreme fatigue, along with symptoms of insomnia, brain fog, anxiety, low concentration levels, constipation and stubborn weight gain, low energy levels and cravings for salty and fatty foods can indicate that you're dealing with adrenal fatigue. Oxidative stress from marathon running can even damage your body at a cellular level. Oftentimes, this can lead to symptoms including glucose intolerance, hypertension and even digestive imbalances. Glucose intolerance and hypoglycemia play a significant role in adrenal fatigue syndrome. Blood pressure also plays a role in adrenal fatigue. In the earlier stages of adrenal fatigue syndrome, the blood pressure is typically between normal to high. As you get into the deeper stages of adrenal fatigue, low blood pressure is more common. You should really think about your heart and your circulatory system if you suffer from adrenal fatigue before running a marathon. There's too many risk factors that come into play. In addition to the adrenal crash that can be triggered, it can lead to extreme fatigue and it can cause you to become housebound. The neuroendometabolic stress response system is a model that shows how the systems are correlated and affect each other in various ways when they're under stress. It's an intricate network of various organs and 6 circuits, including the Cardionomic circuit and the hormonal circuit, which work in close unison to deal with stress. When a stressful situation arises, the neuroendometabolic system signals your adrenal glands to secrete more of the anti-stress hormone cortisol. When stress is constant and unrelented, it can overburden your adrenals, and as a result they can become fatigued and no longer be able to secrete the adequate amounts of cortisol to meet the body's high demands. This can reduce your body's natural stress-fighting ability and can eventually lead to adrenal fatigue syndrome. When the amount of stress that you experience surpasses the amount that your body's innate stress-fighting system can deal with, you increase your chances of developing adrenal fatigue. The downside about marathon running is that the excess stress that you place on your body can trigger symptoms of adrenal fatigue. If you're thinking about marathon running, it's important to understand the risk of this type of training. The marathon running can also affect your cardionomic and hormonal circuits, part of the neuroendometabolic system, thereby disturbing your entire stress response system. The cardionomic circuit is comprised of the lungs, heart and blood vessels. Imbalances within this circuit can cause heart palpitations, high blood pressure, cardiac arrhythmias, shortness of breath, and dizziness. The hormonal circuit, comprised of the thyroid, adrenal glands, and the testes and ovaries, regulates your body temperature, your stress hormones, and your thyroid function. Imbalances in this circuit can cause fatigue, a sluggish thyroid, weight gain, reduced libido, infertility, miscarriages, and hair loss. A marathon study shows running a marathon can affect your urinary system, your circulatory system, and your muscular systems. When one of the body's systems is under stress, it can affect the other systems. The kidneys play a big role in your blood sugar levels and your circulatory system. So if your kidneys are affected, it can cause changes in your blood sugar levels. And these changes won't be helpful if you suffer from adrenal fatigue. It's important to know the health risks and to fully understand them before getting into any type of sports. If you have any concerns about running a marathon, you should address them with your doctor or a therapist before entering the race. Those suffering from adrenal fatigue tend to experience stubborn weight gain. More exercise and reduced calorie intake are frequently recommended to people with excess body fat. Even though eating less and working out more is the latest weight loss trend, in reality, overtraining can damage your metabolism and it can backfire. The type of exercise that you do has a direct impact on your hormonal circuit. The dark side about marathon running is that such physical overtraining decreases your fat metabolism and it elevates your cortisol stress levels, and this in turn impairs your body's insulin sensitivity. So this encourages fat storage, thereby reducing the potential for weight loss. Moderate running is considered good for the heart. However, what many people don't know and need to know about marathon running is it can negatively affect your heart. Excessive exercise can have a negative impact on the structure of your heart and the arteries, especially if you don't replenish your body with the adequate calories and good sleep. Furthermore, the elevated cortisol levels, owing to the overtraining, can put your body into a constant state of fight or flight. This can have a negative impact on your cardionomic circuit. Excessive workouts have also been shown to cause elevated levels of C-reactive protein, which in turn increases your risk of blood clots and a heart attack. You might have been told that exercising can boost energy levels. Although you might be excited about marathon running, the overtraining can actually lead to chronic stress. The marathons involve running for long periods of time, and this can place your body under stress, increasing your chances of developing adrenal fatigue. Research has revealed that over-exercising leads to unconscious overeating, and this is to make up the calories that have been burned. So instead, try to go for short, intense workouts and eat a nutrient-dense adrenal fatigue diet that can help to prevent the fatigue and the overeating. If you suffer from disturbed sleep, something you should know about the marathon running is the excessive workout can increase your risk of mood swings and insomnia. In fact, studies have revealed a lot about marathon running and disturbed sleep. The rate of adrenal dysfunction, leading to anxiety, depression, and insomnia, was shown to be higher in the overstressed athletes. Another important risk to know about marathon running is it can increase the oxidative stress in your body, and this causes accelerated aging and illness. In addition, the overtraining can cause excessive fatigue to your joints and your muscles, and abnormal fluctuations in your hormone levels. This raises the risk of inflammation, which can cause swelling, pain, and illness. These are just some of the adverse health effects from marathon running that you should know about, but it doesn't mean you need to stay away from running completely. Have a more strategic approach and follow the guidance of a trained healthcare professional, and this can help you to run short marathons without causing any serious health problems. Exercise in moderation is essential for a healthy body. Our bodies are just not made to handle the damage from a repetitive marathon. The downside you should know about is overtraining, which can cause numerous health problems like adrenal fatigue, muscle damage, increased C-reactive protein levels, blood clots, inflammation, elevated cortisol levels, cardionomic circuit dysfunction, hormonal circuit dysfunction, mood swings, and insomnia. For a better approach to your health, consider focusing on short, intense workouts, eating a nutrient-dense adrenal fatigue diet, and making sure that you get adequate sleep. To avoid adrenal fatigue triggers, consider staying away from excessive exercise and strenuous activities like marathon running. Instead, if you love to run, stick to a 5k or a 10k race. If you're thinking about marathon running, there's certain aspects you should consider to play it safe. To stay replenished and reduce the risk of fatigue, be sure to eat a nutrient-dense adrenal fatigue diet. Practice some adrenal exercises and get plenty of restorative sleep. To learn about health conditions or herbs and supplements that can increase your endurance, or to book a consultation, check out my website.